So this was my cholesterol test from today. Well, it wasn't from today actually. It was collected December 23rd, 2017, but I went to the doctor because I wanted another opinion on my cholesterol, because I've had conflicting diagnosis depending on who I go to about my numbers. And anyway, I don't know if you can see them there, but that's my LDL and reference range. Anyway, the doctor today, she's a new doctor, I've just started with her, and for some reason she didn't have any of my records sent to her within the last month, and so she had nothing, but she was able to pull up my cholesterol information and give me a diagnosis based on the data. And she came up with this Framingham score of 0.7% of having a heart attack within the next 10 years based on my data. So if my age, my sex, the fact that I'm a non-smoker, this and that, right? Fact that my blood pressure's good. Anyway, so I was confused about this because my last doctor and the doctor who she was subbing in for my last doctor, and she actually requested this test for herself, and both my last doctor and her thought that my cholesterol was very high and needed medication. And I was told that my HDL cholesterol was high, which it is not, according to this last test. But we're going to have to see a graph of all my tests, like James says, over the last while. But anyway, I was reading this FRS, which is the Framingham risk score, of less than 10% means low risk, but then it says underneath, treatment advised if LDL-C is greater than or equal to 5.0 millimoles per liter. So if you look at my LDL cholesterol, 5.64, and this doctor today, she says, nope, you don't need statins. She doesn't even, she says we don't even need to test your cholesterol for the next 5 years. You're fine, because this is your Framingham score. But it says right here, treatment advised if LDL-C is greater or equal to 5.0 millimoles per liter. So I am very thankful today that she gave me this piece of paper. I said I brought my camera to the doctor's office today, and I said I'm going to have to film my numbers so that I can let my family see them and stuff like that, so that they know what I'm dealing with here. And she said, oh, you can just take this piece of paper. You could just take this. This is yours. So now I finally, after all of these tests, all of these doctors giving me different opinions on whether I need treatment or I don't need treatment, and what I could do to avoid treatment or any of that, I haven't been given any information I can really use until right now, this sheet. She says I don't need treatment. Treatment advised if LDL-C is greater than or equal to...
We're not mentioning any names to protect the guilty.
So, obviously, yes, I need treatment right now. Very obviously, it says right here. So,
this...
so yes, I'm a non-smoker, and I try very hard to keep in shape. And my cholesterol, she says, it must be a hereditary condition for you. And I just looked at her and I'm like, yes, it's hereditary.
You've known it since you were, what, 15 or something like that?
I'm really tired of this. So anyway, I will try not to get excited because I might just have a heart attack, given treatment advised.
They're going incompetence. This is...
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, she should just be out of the so-called profession.
Anyway, yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
So anyway, what I said to James is this is my test results of December 23rd, 2017. And, I mean, I'm pounding back 8 cloves of garlic a day. I don't actually know what I had pulled this down. This 5.64 had been roughly the same, 6.5 or something like that. So in a few months, I'd pulled it down. So right now, I could actually, conceivably, be below this, for all I know, with the work I've been doing, trying to keep my cholesterol down, because I work very, very hard at it. And so I'm going to have to try to convince her to give me a test, which she doesn't think I need one within the next 5 years, so that might be tricky.
Yeah, anyway. You might have to bring the big guns in, like me.
Don't know. Yeah, you'll have to request it, because I don't know what to do. Anyway, so that's that.
It might help having someone else say, look, I want it done. Pauline is...
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm insisting that Pauline...
But now I know that if I can get it below 5, I don't need medication, given my Framingham...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Risk score.
Yeah. So that's good to know. I learned something today. Today was a learning experience.
Yes, it was. Unfortunately, not for the doctor. The doctor's the one
that she
really needs to learn. I mean, it's just that simple. She's writing it right opposite what she should be reading, and frankly, what she should know off the top of her head. So.
Anyway, so now I know. That's good to know.
Yeah, and the doctor doesn't know. And the sad thing is, we can handle it, but how many people are there out there that she's bozoing in this way?
Well, anyway.
Dozens.
So, inside, James is watching this, 12 Strong, the declassified true story of the horse soldiers. And what do you think about that?
I already knew about it.
Okay.
I know about Dostum, and I know about Mazar-i Sharif, and I know how they put these guys in to call in the bombing, American bombings in Afghanistan. I was following it in 2001.
So, and another thing, if I can get my back fixed, then I won't have these cookie marathons when, because when my diet goes bad, it's because I'm A, not getting enough sleep, or B, because I've blown my back out again. That's what happens. Yeah. And really, the really bad stuff happens when I blow my back out. I mean, or another thing, also when I come back from the doctor and nothing's happening. When I'm like, wow, I need a referral, I need this, I need that, and it's not happening. Like, I come back and it's just like, why did I even go? Then I kind of spiral. And, that may or may not involve cookies. So, and I don't even like sweets. So when that happens, wow. Anyway, we both slept really well through this one.
That one was...
How much did you catch?
Not much. They were dropping to the center of the earth.
Oh dear.
I thought it was the center of the earth.
They were in the center,
but it kind of made sense.
Fell asleep.
They hit terminal velocity or whatever it's called, and they were having a big conversation as they were going down. They fell through a hole. And they kind of did the research. There are rocks
I enjoyed what I saw.
Are,
it's not that it was bad, and that's why I fell asleep. I was just very tired.
Yeah. Muscovite, I think, is a kind of weird rock. It can bend. It comes in, whatever you call them.
Anyway, so that was...
bendable layers, and they fell through that.
I'd watch it again, just for the sleep.
Yeah, it was soporific,
Awesome.
and in the best way.
Yeah, it wasn't unpleasant to wake up to either.
No, I woke up every so occasionally and going, wow. I had some weird dreams.
I woke up right near the end.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I missed quite a lot of that one.
Yeah, yeah.
This was the best thing we've seen in a long time. So funny. You know, when I borrowed this from the library, I looked at it and I'm like, do I even want to bother? And then I noticed who was in it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
So-
Dax Shepard, and who's the other guy? Pena?
Yeah.
Michael Pena. Yeah.
So, who is also, he happens to be in this one.
Yeah, he happens to
Yeah.
be in that one, yeah.
So anyway, but so funny. So funny. I don't even want to give anything away.
No.
Just go to your library and borrow this. So funny.
Yeah.
So I don't want to tell you about it. Just watch it. So good. Maybe you want to tell. I don't know.
Nah,
No,
not
you
really.
can tell
Well,
the one thing, and like James even liked it so much he watched the commentary.
the after, the
Yeah.
whatever they've
What do you
got,
call that?
special features,
Mm.
something like that at the
Yeah.
end. So,
So he went through those.
yeah, exactly right. So I won't tell you what was on there because they were talking about what was
In the
happening
movie.
and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And, they were
Yeah.
talking about the funniest parts.
Yeah.
Well, not all of the funniest parts because it just would have.
So even that was funny and worth watching.
Yeah, I watched all of it,
Yeah.
and I was just I was actually guffawing by times
Yeah.
watching it.
Yeah.
I was telling you about it
Mhm.
afterwards. You actually laughed about it.
Yeah, just
So, yeah.
without even watching it.
Yeah, yeah.
I laughed at hearing the jokes told secondhand.
So
But
And
I
I don't tell
did
them as
watch
well
the
as-
movie.
Dax Shepard,
Yeah.
like as I'm not.
Did he do
anything.
it all deadpan?
Of course, he
Oh,
does
that's
it
so
great.
perfect.
So yeah.
So anyway.
See, I was smiling.
Yeah, you were. You're
there we go.
not as good at it.
No. Well, I'm not trained in
No,
that sort
no.
of stuff. So
But that's
I-
the best humor, is when people can do it with an absolutely straight face.
yeah.
It's the best.
Anyway, he's playing a real character there,
Yeah.
and he does a good job. Pena, they're a comic team, right?
Oh, perfect.
Pena's
I love
a
that
straight
movie.
guy.
James
Yeah.
wants to hold it back for a few days so he
I
can
want to
watch
see
it
it at
again.
least once again. I didn't.
And I don't
see it
mind.
today.
We can watch it again.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot.
I'm going to be laughing just as much, maybe more.
So I put most of your tomatoes at the bottom. You may have noticed in your
Yeah,
pasta.
I noticed that. I ate a little bit of that. It's pretty good, but I'm going to finish this up because
Okay.
it's there are a lot of tomatoes on there and things like that. There's a lot
We
of
don't
stuff.
eat pasta very much. This was given to us, and I figured I may as well make it.
So the you added some like the
Well,
kind of the relish to it, or just
Basil?
Was that, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
All of
that's
it.
the only thing that makes penne, really. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
All I did was I was cooking these black-eyed peas, which are in here, in the slow cooker, and I had some broth left over. So I strained off the broth and I cooked the pasta in the broth. And then I sauteed up some onion and mixed in that and basil. That's it. And honestly, I eat black-eyed peas because I know they're good for me, but I can't stand them. They're terrible. They smell like garbage when they're cooking. Honestly, like garbage, like wet garbage. That's what they smell like cooking. And they don't taste a whole lot better. Not even all this onion and basil can hide the fact that there's black-eyed peas in this, honestly.
yeah, I don't know what it is about black-eyed peas. Anyway, I don't even like the group that much. Although they're okay. Didn't they have who was in black-eyed
I
peas?
don't even know.
Was it Fergie?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you one thing that they did.
Yeah, they were like a 95%.
A no-hit wonder.
Well, they did have a
No.
bit of a hit.
Really?
Yeah.
What? I don't
Can't
know what they
remember
did.
it was. It wasn't enough of a hit. But I think it was Fergie, and then she left the group.
Mm.
Or it was some other Pink, maybe? No, it wasn't Pink. I don't think it's Fergie. Was it a blonde? Was
I
it,
don't know. You keep up with this modern bands better than I do, honestly.
Yeah. I don't keep up with it very well. But, who else? Was there some blonde? Black Eyed Peas. There was some blonde woman that belonged to a group. And, wasn't Christina Aguilera. She kind of had a comic image. But she was kind of like a bombshell.
What, Gwen Stefani?
Yeah, but that was a different group.
No, that was a different group.
What
was she a part of?
But they were kind of like one-hit wonders too, weren't they? Like
They kind of were,
95%
but
hit wonders.
I didn't mind them. What were they called again?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I like them better than Black Eyed Peas, I gotta tell you. I got hold of that Black Eyed Peas album. It kind of made the top 100 of the...
Well, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that I do actually own a Gwen Stefani album. I can't help it.
Well, I own...
Do you?
Well, the album that she did with that group.
Oh, you do? No doubt.
No doubt.
That was
No
it.
doubt, it's no doubt. See? Yeah. So, yeah, I own that album. And I might have one of her albums when she went solo. I gotta admit, I prefer No Doubt
Well,
to her solo.
I have to admit that I do get that Hollaback Girls stuck in my head. So I had to, yeah, that's what she did.
Okay, I can
So I had to
vaguely
get that
remember
album.
Yeah, there
because it gets stuck in my
She
head.
is funny.
And plus, for the first time on the, not the first time, for the first summer on the radio, when it was playing and playing and playing, I'd hear it on the radio and I'd be like, what in the world is she saying? I couldn't make it out, right?
No.
And, once I did make it out, I thought, oh, well, all these different things that I was coming out for what it could be was probably better than what she came up with, so.
That's been my experience.
Yeah.
And most stuff that makes it the top 10. People don't elocute anymore. I'm not saying that's bad or anything like that. I mean, if the lyrics are lousy, you don't want to know about it, so maybe it's good.
But anyway, for a long time, I was sure she was saying, I ain't no Harlem fat girl.
There we go. You see? That's awesome.
And honestly,
right?
I don't know what a hollaback girl is.
Yeah.
So
is that
mine made more
someplace
sense to me.
Is that someplace in the great urban sprawl of Los Angeles?
I don't know.
Hollaback. Or Chicago or New York? I think it's Los Angeles.
I don't know.
So it's like...
it's something that you could find on the internet if you cared. I guess I haven't cared that much that I've looked it up.
Maybe it's next to Compton, or not so much East LA.
That it probably is something like that, James. And it probably makes total sense to people that actually know what a hollaback girl is.
There you go. See?
I don't.
Yeah. Don't know, don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Is it catchy? Is it an earworm, as the Germans say?
I ain't no hollaback girl.
Yeah, see?
Yep. Pretty catchy.
Pretty catchy. Okay, here's... I think that stuff's from the 90s, isn't it?
That hollaback girl song was going around when I was...
In Winnipeg?
No, when I was here working on the hill, pulling up those Cosmos that weighed
pretty
1 billion pounds or whatever.
So that was this millennium?
Can't talk while I'm taking the garlic. It might come up. You know it might.
Okay.
Has in the past.
I'm trying to make a joke.
That's enough of that. Sorry I made such gross food today.
It's pretty good. The penny by itself is not bad. Tomato good. It's black-eyed peas. Well,
Yeah, well, I know.
a little bit like the group. I like the basil pasta. I always have. You've been making it on and off for a long time.
That's easy.
Well, you know, sometimes it's important to recognize what's easy and just do it, right?
Yeah.
If it's easy and it's good, why complicate it and not so good?
But yeah, I had a good day.
That was great catching that doctor. I mean, it's like catching someone in the act.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was awesome.
thoroughgoing incompetence. Jeez.
Well, I mean, now I know. Like before, I was like, okay, well, what am I shooting for, and
Yeah.
who can I really believe about?
Yeah.
I can believe me.
Yeah, exactly.
Me interpreting the results. That's
I'm gonna
what
have a fun time. I have to get the name from her so I can check her up and rate your doctor. She's probably just already got out. Probably already got a rap sheet.
But yeah, it's been a fun ride, you know, honestly. One doctor recommending a high-fat diet. That was awesome.
Was that Mr. C?
Mm-mm.
Mr. L?
Mm-mm. This
Mr.
is
ST? Oh, this one.
This is the one who, the substitute doctor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The paleo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, you know, that would have been interesting, going really high fat, and
you wouldn't be able to sue her or anything like that from
yeah,
your deathbed.
she was recommending some ketosis. It's like, yeah, that'd be great. Going ketogenic and losing my muscles.
I'll help your back out for sure.
Yeah. Anyway. I'm still tired. So I managed to get 9 hours, 14 minutes sleep. What with my good movie watching nap. I don't know what to do with these leftovers. I don't even want to eat them.
I'll eat them.
Well, you already have enough of your own to eat.
Yeah, I'll be eating in the next couple of days or something like that.
I hate black-eyed peas.
Sometimes lentils and
I like lentils.
I'm talking about the general generic term.
Legumes, you mean?
Okay.
Yeah, some legumes aren't that palatable. But black-eyed peas are the worst. They're so bad.
Me chickpeas are the worst.
Chickpeas stink when they're cooking too.
They're awful. Well, not all.
Black-eyed peas stink worse
Hard
though.
to take.
So stinky. Trying to turn that into food in the end is a little bit tricky. Anyway, I guess I'll just put the stuff away and try to see how many more hours I can get. Yeah. Feels good.
It feels great to sleep.
Yeah. So yeah, my pain's not bad anymore. It's the part of my leg that when I was standing it was heavy here. Felt weird. That's where it hurts now, but it's not even that bad. It feels like sometimes, like when I'm walking, that my leg is not wanting to work, but it doesn't hurt. So I'm okay. I don't have the pain in my back anymore. So I can totally live with this, and I'm not walking like an embarrassing kind of walk anymore. So that's fine. Because I don't know. I guess most people are that way. They don't want people to see them when they're all...
Probably not.
I think people are embarrassed about it. They just want to hide until they... cats will do it. If they're hurt, they go pull themselves under some tree somewhere and just off on their own. Or dogs, if they're feeling like they might die, you see them, they go somewhere way away.
They get under something so they're not exposed.
Yeah. I think mammals are just like that.
Yep. The ones that huddle with the others, they pass their disease on to kill them.
Well, I guess that's right.
They didn't survive.
Yeah.
And some would recover, right? So the ones that went under a tree were less susceptible to
Predation, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly it.
So then they wouldn't pass it on while it's still active.
Well,